Kendrick? Kendrick? Did you hear that, Kendrick?
How are you doing? How are you doing?
You look lonely. I can fix that. You look like a good Joe.
So it's hard for me to ask for help. It's hard for me to want to be part of a group. You know? It's hard for me to really commit to a group. It's hard for me to, when my family's together, to stand up and tell my family that I love them, man.
So lately I've been noticing a lot of videos on YouTube of people around my age and older venting about their mental health issues. Many of those videos were people suffering from loneliness, social isolation, and depression. And by reading the comments of those videos, you could tell that the viewers are also suffering from these mental issues. According to the World Health Organization, there has been a 13% rise in mental health condition in the last decade, and majority of those who are suffering are young people. Now, why is there a rise in these mental health issues? And why is it affecting mostly young people? There are many theories out there, so today I'll be giving my own opinion on the cause of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and stress, and how to deal with them. Depression is one of the most common mental issues to date. You've probably known someone who's suffering from it, or maybe you watching is suffering from it. Now, what is depression? Depression is a persistent feeling of emptiness and lack of joy. Unlike sadness, this feeling lasts longer and can sometimes come out of nowhere. There are many things that can cause depression, but the most common cause of depression in this generation, from what I've seen, is the lack of identity and purpose. I have a question for you watching right now. Do you know who you are and what's your purpose? Let me know in the comments below. There are many people out there who don't know who they truly are. They put on a mask when they go out in public, but they feel empty on the inside. This feeling is very common in adolescence when you start to become more aware of yourself and the real world. There are many people who live their lives with no purpose. They don't believe in anything, and because of that, they're 90 times more likely to become depressed than someone who lives for a reason and believes in something bigger than themselves. There are many depressed people I've seen on the internet who've completely given up on their pursuit to happiness. Depressed people like that usually have a pessimistic outlook in life, and they most likely won't ever escape their mental torment if they don't change the way they look at things. So, now, how do you deal with an identity and an existential crisis? I'm gonna be honest with you, there is no concrete answer, but all I could tell you is to keep searching. Find out what you want to do in life. It may not come to you like that. Trust me, it took me years to figure out what I wanted to do. And for the love of God, believe in something. Now, although loneliness isn't considered a mental issue, it's definitely affecting a lot of people lately, most commonly men. There is a serious loneliness epidemic that's going on as we speak, and it's also one of the main causes of depression and anxiety. Now, what caused this sudden rise of loneliness in this generation? Two things: internet culture and individualism. If you've been on the internet for a while, you already know how divided everyone is, which is ironic since the internet was made for us to be more connected. Everyone is trapped in their own bubble, and no one wants to tolerate someone else who has an opposing point of view. I'm talking to you, Hell of a Boss fans. And the society we live in, almost everyone is so focused on himself, causing the abundance of narcissistic and egocentric people. And those people are more likely to fall into a deep state of loneliness. There is also the rise in male loneliness. There are many reasons for this, but I mostly blame it on the fear of being vulnerable. Most of us men think that opening up is for the weak and we must deal with our feelings on our own, so most of us suppress those negative emotions which affect our mental health. So how do we combat this loneliness epidemic? I think the best thing to do is to reach out to someone you trust, but not for your own self-interest, but for their sake. Send a text message to a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Ask them how they're doing. Maybe ask to hang out sometime. And for the boys, there's nothing weak about feeling the way you feel. Just use that negative energy and let it out in the gym and do a sport. I recommend doing boxing. It's like a form of therapy, not gonna lie. Now, this is a mental illness I've personally never experienced in my life. So, What is anxiety? Anxiety is basically an intense form of nervousness. Symptoms include nausea, dizziness, and increased heart rate. There are many causes, but the most common cause of anxiety in this generation is lack of sleep. I have another question for you watching. How many hours of sleep did you get last night? Let me know in the comments. I've seen people flex about their 3 hours of sleep they had last night like it's a competition. I've even been seeing memes saying, POV when the 1 hour of sleep kicks in. Come on, man. Y'all gotta at least get 6 hours of sleep. I remember one time I decided to pull an all-nighter one night to work on a video, and I deadass thought I was gonna get a heart attack. I don't know how y'all function like that. So what should you do to combat your anxiety? Make sure you eat healthy, exercise, stay away from drugs, and go to sleep. Everyone has felt stress at least once in their lives, and it isn't really classified as a mental illness, but it can cause mental health problems like depression and anxiety. Now, stress itself is very complicated. There are 4 types of stress: mental, physical, emotional, and behavioral. Today, I'll just be going over the mental stress. Now, there are many causes of stress, but the most common cause are money, work, and poor health. I'm starting to realize a lot of people are putting so much pressure on themselves to become multi-millionaires by the age of 21 because they saw some Fortnite kid win $1 million before he reached 18. Because of how the economy is looking, most people are going to have to work at least 3 jobs just to pay rent. And let's not forget the people who don't take care of their well-being. They don't do no physical activities and they eat like shit. All of those factors can seriously mess with your mental health. So, how can you deal with stress? Stop focusing on only money. I'm not saying to stop chasing the bread. I'm just saying there's more to life than blue cheese. With working 3 jobs, I really can't say much about that. If you really gotta do it to survive, it's best you just do it. Just make sure you take breaks though. And hit the gym. And don't forget to eat your greens as well. So in conclusion, the world is going to shit, and I wish you all the best of luck out there. And remember, there is a light to every dark tunnel. Stop being hard on yourself, and look at the bright side of things. You're alive, so keep moving forward until you reach your goal. Now before I wrap things up, I'm gonna start calling out random internet people to fight me in a boxing match at the end of every video from now on. So, Jacksepticeye, I've seen you been hitting the gym lately. Fight me, nigga. Peace.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how